Hey guys, how you doing? This is JP Saricolia coming to you once again with another episode of this podcast, Age of Heroes. And today I want to get into Sideshow Collectibles. I wanted to talk specifically about Sideshow Collectibles. As some of you may know, right now we are in on the 12 days of Sideshow, which technically are just 12 days that Sideshow uses as a campaign to do reveals of some of the upcoming releases and upcoming, of course, pre-orders, some stuff that they plan for 2019 for this year. And so far it's been, as expected, good. There's a lot of good reveals. There's a lot of good stuff that has been shown. But I would say nothing out of the ordinary. We have a new Batgirl premium format figure, which looks phenomenal. I think, in my opinion, I love this design. I love the art style they have, the dynamic pose, which is pretty good. I do like that figure. We saw actually the video today on not today, but yesterday on Sideshow Live. We saw a video of it, which was pretty fun, pretty good. We also saw we have seen the Gladiator Hulk maquette, which is a new Gladiator Hulk, which looks good. I think we had seen only the teaser, but looks great. We saw the Domino premium format figure today, which is Domino sitting on a very sexy pose on a slot machine. And looks pretty cool for the character. Very sexy, looking and all of that, which I think is what a lot of people are liking or loving, the concept itself. To me, it just seems kind of ordinary in one way, something that Sideshow normally does, a lot of these sexy poses, which a lot of people love. In my opinion, I would like to see more action on this figure, but that's just me. We also have seen the Pop Culture Shelf Collectibles, the reveal of Blanca, the 1/4 Ultra Scale, that's what they call it. It's a 1/4 scale piece. But in this case, of course, an action piece looks pretty good. We have only seen the art design. We haven't seen the piece. We also saw a premium format figure for Mr. Freeze, which it looks great. I think actually Prime 1 did a much better job on their design or for their one, but of course it's in a 1/3 scale. So this is a bit smaller in comparison. We also have the reveal of Chitara, a statue. Of course, right now Sideshow is having or producing the Thundercats line. Last year, Lino really didn't get a lot of good reviews because of the art style. It's a new rendition. It's a new. It's based on the original style, on the original art, the 80s cartoons, but it totally takes it on a different level. It's a different rendition or vision, which a lot of people are very disappointed, including myself. I still think that the Pop Culture Shock Lino, which I reviewed years ago, I think is still a much better fit. Unfortunately, that line never really go places, only, it was pretty much, cut down, shut down because there was not a lot of, in that time, support from the fans, unfortunately. But also we saw the Alien Mythos Legendary Scale Bus, which is not a surprise. It seems that every year or every opportunity we get another Alien bus, like something that happens all the time, which, there's fans for that. There's people that pay money for that. In my opinion, I would not do it. We also saw the Thanos Legendary Scale Bus, which, in my opinion, looks great. It really has an original concept. It's more like a classic design in comparison to the premium format that was released this year, at the end of 2017, early this year, 2018, or last year, 2018. I forgot that we're 2019 already. So it looks great. A lot of people are still not too satisfied with the bus. We also saw the Alex Ross Superman Peace on Earth art print, which, it's an art print. Right now Sideshow is also producing that, and in my opinion, they're overpricing the art prints, but that's their business, and people are buying. We also saw for the Avengers Assembled statue line, we also saw Black Panther, which looks great, for this line that is actually growing really fast, and also Black Widow. So far, this is what we have seen on the 12 days of Sideshow. We still have, 3 more days left. So I don't know, we're going to see a reveal of, in this case, of Juggernaut. We also saw that last year on San Diego Comic-Con, I think San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con. We saw reveals of that. So we can get to see finally a prototype. People are talking about a new Gambit PF. People are actually waiting, expecting to get more, maybe In this case, a Flash. The people have been asking for a Flash PF for years and it hasn't happened. So far, I would say so good. Now, the title of this podcast today is Sideshow playing it safe? Is Sideshow running out of ideas? And to be honest with you, part of me feels that yes, and the other part feels that no. So I'm really conflicted about this because I do believe that Sideshow, as always, is doing phenomenal work. If you really compare the job that was done years ago, you look at the job that Sideshow was doing, I don't know, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. We have come a long way. Sideshow has come a long way in the art style and the concept design. The premium formats are better than they ever were in the sense of just the design. A lot of people, of course, might be the purists. I would say that Sideshow was better. Back in the day, they'll let you know that the classic OG pieces were great. And I'm not disputing that because I believe some of the OG pieces were phenomenal back in the day, quality wise. But the concept and the design and the engineering of the pieces nowadays is, 10 times better than it was. So they are very engineered. Of course, the company Sideshow has reduced some things in order to, has improved some areas in order to reduce costs and to make it more profitable as a business. And they have been able to produce very phenomenal pieces with really very great concepts. The engineering is phenomenal. And I would say the digital sculpting has come a long way that adds a lot of detail to these pieces. And yes, well, sometimes you're going to get, the QC has always been a point of contention with Sideshow. But I think in recent years, Sideshow has done a much better job, and also has to do a lot with the competition. They're competing with Prime One, competing with Iron Studios, with the XM, which I think is the main competitor right now, which I really has put Sideshow into a more defense mode. Although Sideshow, I think, has been killing it recently. It's been killing it with everything they're doing. But in my opinion, I feel that Sideshow, it's playing it safe as much as they can. Because a lot of these concepts are great concepts. I'm not saying that it's not. But how many bad girls do we need? And how many times do we need to continue with the same lines? The same Avengers line or the same, the same figure, the same Hulk figures, or the same characters on the Batman, universe. It seems that we're constantly repeating the same thing time and time again. I know some people, especially newcomers, might not see the problem because they're accustomed, they're coming into this hobby and, you've been here in this hobby for 2 years, so everything is new. So everything is flashy. Everything looks great. But someone that has been in the hobby for more years, like, they've been in this hobby for 20, 15, 10 years, 7 years, people like that, you have seen a lot, changes. And it seems like every year, there's the same thing over and over and over again. Now, is this because the market dictates this? And the bottom line is, it is. The people want Superman. If you produce the same character, you go through the list of characters. You're always going to have a Superman. You're always going to have an Iron Man. You're always going to have a Batman because they are the most popular characters. There's no way around it. However, there are great popular characters that never get produced. Like you see Flash. How many Flash statues have you seen in a 1/4 scale? And we're not talking about the statues produced, by custom designers, by custom makers. Talking about companies producing Flash. Yes, I know XM, as we know, XM is producing one, but Sideshow has really always omitted this. Until now, that's when we're going to get to see a Juggernaut piece. And hopefully we get during these days, we get to see a better reveal of the statue. But it's always the same thing time and time again. So it really makes you think about what is Sideshow trying to accomplish with this, and if they're really putting the effort to really, push the envelope into a new direction. And I'm not talking about the engineering on these pieces, which is phenomenal, but in the art style, creating concepts or things that, break the mold, and change the way we see things in statues. My apologies if I cough. I'm still sick, so I'm still dealing with the sickness. I've been sick almost for 2 weeks, so my apologies for that. But it feels that, Sideshow is playing it safe. I don't think they're running out of ideas. I know that the market is controlled by companies like Disney and Marvel, we actually, when you hold their licenses, they kind of dictate the way you produce things. But I feel in many ways that Sideshow, it's just kind of giving you the same thing time and time again. Of course, it's a redesign, redevelop, and you know what, sometimes, you have to realize this, if it's not broke, then, why you change it, just keep doing the same thing. Kind of like the iPhone. You get the same concept, the same iPhone, the same piece of equipment, time and time again, year after year, with slight improvements, and you get something better, and people continue buying, because as long as people are buying, the company, in this case Apple's gonna continue producing the same phone with some bells and whistles here and there. And I feel that Sideshow is doing the same thing as a company. It's just, as long as people keep buying the same statues, they're gonna keep producing the same things. They're just gonna add a little extra here and there. But how many Batgirl statues do we need? Or how many Batman statues do we need, or Superman statues? So, it's something to think about. But what is your opinion? Do you think Sideshow is just playing it safe again? Or do you think that Sideshow is actually improving the quality and actually giving what customers want? I do believe that they're doing what customers want, but at the same token, I feel that the company is not really exciting like it used to be. It's not exciting people the way they used to. And it's just because as long as everything is safe, they're going to keep playing it safe. And that's one of the reasons why other companies like XM are really bringing the house down with their new additions, and we're really kind of bringing color into the collections, and that's why a lot of people are switching sides. Although, Sideshow still holds the market big time all over the world. They still hold the market. They still have the biggest, fan base. I still feel that other companies are taking that place, are taking every opportunity they can to really give customers something more than just the basics, and I feel that that's the main difference. So what do you think? What's your opinion in regards to that? Do you share my views, or do you have something to add? I would like to hear from you. I like the pieces that I've seen so far, but at the same time, I feel that everything is been played out to death, and I feel that there's nothing that enticed me to really go back to collect Sideshow. To be honest with you, I just nothing there that feels that is kind of taking the void or changing things out. It feels the same. And the sad part is that it feels that sometimes even custom makers are making more exciting things nowadays, but that's just a gray market that, I don't, some people dislike, but sometimes these sculptors, they are producing new things. They're coming up with great ideas that unfortunately the big companies are kind of scared to try out because, they go for the easy profits, in order to please their investors. So I don't know. That's just my opinion. So what do you think? I would like to hear that. So please, if you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification button so you're reminded of the next video. If you're listening to the podcast, please share the podcast and consider just supporting this channel through my Patreon account. So once again, God bless you, and I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.